New research has revealed an ancient burial site and stone circle is older than originally thought, and could have inspired the construction of Stonehenge. The Flagstones site in Dorset has been redated to 3,200 years BC, and could shed new light on the origins of monumental architecture during the Neolithic period, including Stonehenge. Archaeological research conducted on the prehistoric burial site has revealed that it is the earliest known large circular enclosure in Britain. The monument, located near Dorchester, has been redated to about 3,200 years BC, approximately 2 centuries earlier than previously thought. This was thanks to advanced radiocarbon analysis of some of the finds discovered there, including human remains, red deer antlers and charcoal. The analysis suggests that flagstones may have served as a prototype for later monuments like Stonehenge. Findings from the research by the University of Exeter and Historic England have been published in the journal Antiquity. Dr. Susan Greene, a specialist in Neolithic and Bronze Age monuments in Exeter's Department of Archaeology and History, said, "Flagstones is an unusual monument, a perfectly circular ditched enclosure with burials and cremations associated with it. In some respects it looks like monuments that come earlier, which we call causewayed enclosures, and in others it looks a bit like things that come later, that we call henges. But we didn't know where it sat between these types of monuments, and the revised chronology places it at an earlier period than we expected." Flagstones was discovered in the 1980s during the construction of the Dorchester bypass, with excavations revealing it was formed of a 100-metre circular ditch made of intersecting pits, probably an earthwork bank. Today, half the site lies beneath the bypass, with the remainder located beneath Max Gate, Thomas Hardy's former home, now bequeathed to the National Trust. Flagstones is, however, a scheduled monument, with finds and excavation archives preserved at Dorset Museum. At least 4 burials were found to have been placed in the enclosure pits, a cremated adult and 3 children who had not been cremated, and there were 3 further partial cremations of adults elsewhere. The similarity of this site to the first phase of Stonehenge, dated to around 2900 BC, led to the assumption that flagstones must be of a similar date. The new scientific dating programme, led by Dr. Greene and Dr. Peter Marshall, formerly Scientific Dating Coordinator at Historic England, involved collaboration with laboratories at ETH Zurich and the University of Groningen, which provided 23 new radiocarbon measurements. Combining the radiocarbon dates with archaeological information revealed that early Neolithic activity, including the digging of pits, took place around 3650 BC. After a gap of many centuries, the circular ditched enclosure was created around 3200 BC, with burials placed within it immediately afterwards. Intriguingly, a later burial of a young adult male under a large sarsen stone at the centre of the enclosure occurred around 1,000 years or so after its initial use. Dr. Greene said, "The chronology of flagstones is essential for understanding the changing sequence of ceremonial and funeral monuments in Britain." The sister monument to flagstones is Stonehenge, whose first phase is almost identical, but it dates to around 2900 BC. Could Stonehenge have been a copy of flagstones, or do these findings suggest our current dating of Stonehenge might need revision? Flagstones also reveals connections to other significant sites, including Llandigau A in Gwynedd, Wales, and other locations in Ireland, as implied by artefacts and burial practices. The findings highlight the interconnectedness of Neolithic communities across Britain and beyond. The study was published under the title Beginning of the Circle, Revised Chronologies for Flagstones and Allington Avenue, Dorchester, Dorset. The paper's abstract read, "A shift towards constructing large circular monuments, including henges, during the Middle Neolithic of Britain and Ireland, is exemplified in the monumental landscape of southwest England." 17 new radiocarbon dates for the Flagstones circular enclosure and the adjacent long enclosure of Allington Avenue, presented here, provide a chronology that is earlier than expected. Comparison with similar sites demonstrates that Flagstones was part of a broader tradition of round enclosures, but was also distinctly innovative, particularly in terms of its size. These findings reinforce the value in developing precise chronologies for refining understanding of monumental forms and associated practices. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description or via YouTube Super Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.